guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, today what I wanted to do is I want to take the FIMI X8 SE 2020 up and test a couple of those smart features, or as some people call them, the intelligent flight modes. If you see my Alto Evo over there, it's because I just got done filming a side-by-side video, which I planned to post before this, so you probably have already seen that video. But anyway, I wanted to take it up and just test a few of the modes. And it has a smart tracking, which is a beta feature. It doesn't work very well from my testing so far. It's got a Helix Mode, I believe it's called. It's got a Droney mode, and it's got the Circle Me. What I want to do today, just to keep the video length rather short, and the fact I just flew this so I don't have quite a full battery, I'm going to test two of those features today. I'm going to test the Orbit or Circle Me mode and that Helix, which goes around and gets larger. I think it also gains an altitude. Now it is very, very windy today, so that is going to affect the quality of this somewhat. It's going to bob and wobble around, but we'll see how it does. This will be a good test to see how can those intelligent flight modes, at least those two, which I've had the most success with those two, work on a really windy day like today. So I'm just going to take it up. I got a screen recording going now. I'm not going to worry about onboard video. Yes, this does have the latest firmware that tweaked the camera some more, but today I'm just more interested in how does it do from my own visual perspective, along with, you can tell how it's doing using the screen recording. But of course, we're just not going to get the highest video quality from the screen recording, so just keep that in mind, that the video quality is going to look significantly better to the SD card. I'm just not using that today. So let's go ahead and let's hold down that auto takeoff and get it up in the air. As you guys see, I got 18 satellites, got 78% battery because I just did that hover test. Thankfully, I was just hovering next to the Evo and I didn't use a lot of battery. Let's take it out here and we'll run over doing some of those intelligent flight modes or smart features. I'm going to kind of keep the drone off this angle because the sun's off to the right here and I don't want to get it up in the sun where the glare is going to wash everything out of my camera. And let's go ahead and let's see. I think you got to get the drone up a little higher than this, so let's go ahead and get it up. We're head here, and I am facing away from me. Let's get it out a little bit, a little farther, because I don't want to, by chance, have to redirect it from these trees. Let's turn it around so you guys can see me, and let's lower the gimbal a little bit. There you go, you guys. And my don't have my shirt on today, but I do have my typical socks and sandals. And let's go ahead and let's test that. So I'm going to go into the smart features here, and let's do the we'll try the Orbit, and I said the Spiral. I call it Helix, they call it Spiral. And then click OK. And so now we want to click on Setting Center. So I think I do that. Oh wait, no, let's start that over. My bad. It says Setting Radius. Oops. Now sometimes the app does this. I was fiddling around, but I've had the app crash back to the main screen more than I'd like on this drone. So let's go back in now. Let's go back to the Orbit. Okay. And then I think, let's see, Setting Center. I fly forward. And let's set the center about right. Now, you want to click that, I should say, when you got the center set. Let's just make it right there. I don't want to do it right overhead because I got this tree here. I have to do it a lot higher. And now you set the radius. So what you're going to do is you just give it set it out how far you want it to go from there. We'll set it right in there. And then let's click on Set Radius. Now you can set the speed and the direction. We'll stick with counterclockwise. And free, I think I want to go on center. I think free will keep the camera face the direction you have it, and won't keep it on center, I believe. So let's go ahead and try that now. Click go. It's going to take a second, and it should start to go here. And I believe it's going to keep it on, there we go, on the center. Yeah. See that, guys? It's going to come around here, and hopefully I have enough room here that doesn't fly into the tree. And here we go. And the wind's let up some, which is perfect, so it's not having to fight that so much. And that's nice. That's a really nice orbit or circle me. Of course, it's not actually circling me unless I tell it to. So I got it circling just this imaginary point out here in the field, but that's a really nice orbit. That's as good as my Evos. In fact, that might even be better. So it's not like all these smart features are duds. Some of these work really well. Let's go ahead and cancel that. Just say yes, I'm going to exit it. And then let's try that Helix mode, or the spiral mode they call it. I'm going to take that out a little farther since that's going to get bigger. I'll take it out here. And see, we're back to the app screen, guys. That's happening not a ton, but that's already the second time that's happened. Which, if you're filming, it's not a huge deal. It's not going to interrupt your video filming off your card. But if you're screen recording like me today, it's going to take away the screen recording, which is not something that an average person is going to mess with. I'm only doing it because I'm a reviewer, so you guys can see what I'm actually doing in the app. Just keep that in mind. And the good thing is the app doesn't completely crash back to your phone's home screen. It just goes back to the inter-device screen, and I'm not exactly sure why. It could also be my phone, you know, there's differences with Android phones. All right, let's go ahead and go back in there. Let's go to that spiral. Of course, you can click do not show again if you don't want that screen to come up. Click OK. Let's set the center. So let's fly up. Again, I'm not going to fly up real far because that's going to get pretty big. You know, it's really fighting the wind. Let's set that center right out here. Click set. Now let's do the radius. And I'm not going to make a very big radius this time. Let's just set the radius about right there. Set radius. The max distance, we have it pretty low at 55.8 feet. And let's keep this pretty low. I'm going to drop it down even some more. And you can tell it to return to home. And let's go clockwise this time. It'll fly back to where you started when it completes it. Let's go ahead and press OK. And let's hope that that this tree again is not in the way, because I'm trying to keep it close so you guys can see it in my head cam. So that's why I'm not doing a real big spiral, but I also want to make sure that I don't bump into anything. And yeah, there it goes. It's gaining an altitude as it's going around here, and it is pretty slow, but it works pretty darn good. It's a neat feature that, like my Mavic Mini, I think it has that, but not like my Evo doesn't. The Evo doesn't have a ton of smart features. It's got tracking, they call it dynamic tracking, I think. And the Evo's got orbit and waypoints. It doesn't have a droney like this either. And it doesn't have this. So you can see I believe it's going up in altitude here. Yeah, you can see in the app up to 80 feet. Now it's really fighting the wind, guys. So this is harder on it than just a basic orbit. Once it completes, it should drop back down and park itself, and I think that's what it's doing right now. It's going to come back. That's only because I slid over yes on RTH, return to home, or the home point where you started doing it. You do not have to do that. And it says that beep beep beep, which made me think, oh no, my camera stopped. No, that's telling me the mission's completed. All right, guys, both those features work great. Now there's a droney mode that I've had a lot of success with in the past, but the other day I couldn't get to work with a darn. But we're not going to test that today. I do have 57% battery. I probably have enough, but I'll come back and do a future video where we'll do the droney, and then we'll try to do that tracking, which you tend to walk right out of the tracking really easy. So I'm, not a big fan of the tracking on this drone. All right, bring it on in overhead here. Yeah, that worked pretty darn good. Pretty impressed with those two. Those are the two best features. The droney mode, when I've used it, I've noticed it's not as smooth of a droney as I see in my Mavic Mini, but it wasn't too bad. But again, the smart tracking is it's very easy to walk right out of the box because it's using your app to follow you, and that takes a lot of good programming. Let's see if I can move it over here, guys. Again, we're just using the screen recording, so be mindful that the video quality is going to be significantly better if we're using the SD card. All right, guys, that should wrap up this video. So you can see that those two smart features work great. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Click that bell so every time I upload a video you guys will be notified. That's all really helpful, because that's how I miss a lot of videos from friends, well, not friends, but channels I follow. If I don't click that bell, it's so easy to just miss videos. So make sure that you click the bell. As always, guys, have a wonderful day.
The power of the dark side.